bigger, and you're going to have more space around you. Now, the people that...
Yeah.
But you're further from the beach. The people that
Because you have to cross that big road.
Right.
What was the name of that road?
That's Sepulveda. I called it Sepulveda, but it's called Sepulveda. And you'll find that, you know, you can see the houses are beginning to get more space around the houses as you go further away. But you're less and less attached to the beach. Mary insisted on being attached to the beach. She said, I'm not moving to California to be in the desert where you'll get what you're used to, or to be in a community. She wanted to be in a beachy community. I don't think she'll ever, I mean, they'll be taking her out of here when she's dead. It's the only way she's leaving here. Remember, you're in the desert. Make sure you drink water. Your body will wind up with headaches otherwise. What kind of Mexican would you like?
I didn't know there was a difference.
Well, I can go to the kind of chain foodish Mexican, that's good, or I can take you to a divey place.
I don't care.
Man, you're putting me under real pressure. So this is the east. As I said, you look at the houses, they're a little bigger, they're a little further apart. They also have bigger backyards, which is key. This house was built by a real estate agent on a double lot. If you look at it, he put it up for sale for $7 million. This house is owned by the person who works for me. She bought this house.
This one with the green truck.
Yeah, because they had a leak and they're actually all the crap's coming out and being packed up.
Oh,
They had a leak in the ceiling. Houses here do not have basements, for the most part.
All right, typical beach community.
Right. I mean, it's sand you're on.
So where do you put all your stuff? You throw it out.
Storage. I have a storage unit and we throw it out. We threw out tons of stuff. We also got rid of a lot of furniture and gave it away, in part because it doesn't fit the California area or lifestyle. Mary wants a house that's a beachy house. I mean, you see these types of houses? This is what you're talking about. They're getting bigger and bigger, and you're not necessarily paying less, truthfully. What you are doing is...
so like this looks like a pretty big house.
It's a big house, and you got a little backyard and stuff like that.
And that's $7 million.
No, that house, 1.7 to 2.5. I don't know what the condition is on the inside.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you know, ideally, I wouldn't, $1.5 million is what I like to put into a house, but...
It depends. You know, Mary wanted to downsize. She did not want a big house. She felt this was our chance to downsize and get a retirement house. That's why we bought a small house. The house is 2,000 square feet. It was a beach house that they converted by building a master bedroom suite upstairs. We are actually, other than the fact that the economy has tumbled, we were thinking of putting a little bit more of an expansion on the house. Because right now what we're doing is basically cosmetics and cleaning it up. But I've already lost $300,000 on the house. Every penny I put in, I'll never get out of it. It's purely for my own living, because I want to enjoy where I'm living. I mean, there was thought of whether we should sell it and buy a bigger house, but she doesn't want to. She likes the house, and I'm not going to push it. I don't care enough. Now that's North Redondo, so you're even further away from the beach. You don't really want to live in North Redondo. It's not the Manhattan Beach Schools, so you want to be in the Manhattan Beach Schools for your 2 years. But it's hard here because you get a lot less for your money, once you in Manhattan Beach. And remember, the further you go east, the cheaper it'll be.
All right, but we always pick towns based on schools.
Which is what we did. That's how we wound up here. Mary didn't want to live in Calabasas or in the desert. Or in the valley. She wanted to be by the beach. Once you go by the beach, you're stuck. It's Malibu, it's Manhattan, and Hermosa, and you could go to Santa Monica, but Santa Monica is a bit eclectic.
What does that mean?
It's got a very diverse population. It's got a very liberal population. You're talking about, there's a lot of homeless there. The school is it's got a lot of diversity around.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of diversity. You're talking Venice Beach is right next door. So you got a lot of, strange let's put it this way.
So it's like living in the Greenwich Village.
Yeah, a little more bohemian. Not quite Greenwich Village. Venice Beach would be Greenwich Village, but it's one notch removed. So is it what you expected? There's two type of houses out here. Ugly
guess so.
and uglier. That's it. That's how we described it. That's how a guy I brought out here from the East Coast lives. There's no beautiful, spacious houses with trees and stuff. You got to remember what you're living in. It's a desert. You're not here for that. You're here for the beach. You're here for a year-round planting season. And you're here for a job that will give you some fun. If you come out here, you'll never go back. You get very used to the weather.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little bit worried as I flew in last night. And, it was the first time I've flown in and actually looked like what was down there. And I'm hoping it was just because it was all around LAX, but it was pretty dreary.
Oh, you're in June gloom now. It's called June gloom.
Okay, that's the second time I've heard that.
June gloom, that's what it's about. It burns off generally. Generally, it'll burn off.
Yeah, well, like the sun's out now.
Right.
This morning it was all overcast.
Right, and it will be in June. It has something to deal with the temperature of the ocean versus the temperature of the desert.
Yeah, it's the same thing San Francisco has, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I didn't know LA had it as well.
We don't get a lot of pollution by the beach because a lot of it is usually blown out because of the constant breezes we have. I'm going to lunch in a place that is going to be kind of like, I just may have to stop and get cash because I don't have any on me. They don't take credit card. But the place is kind of a divey place. I figured because we'll get out quicker. I'll show you.
All right, as long as it has air conditioning.
Are you really hot? Open up, take your tie off. Put it on later.
No, I'm not hot. I'm just not used to it.
Tell you, I'm wearing a jacket. First year out here was the same thing. I would go back to New York and say, these people, California wimps. Totally a California wimp now. You get really used to it.
And none of these houses have pools.
Not true. That's not true. Some do, some don't. The backyards are generally not very big. You want a pool, you probably have to go towards the East Manhattan where you get more land. Don't view it as any less, cheaper than anywhere else. But you know what? People don't use the pools as much because they have the beach. I mean, that's a big part of it. This is a beach community. Mm-hmm. You go to Dave or Rich Gudis, the people that I work with, they will have pools in their backyard because they have much bigger properties, but they're in the desert. They're dealing with temperature extremes that go from more of what you're used to. The summertime it's 105. In the wintertime it's 30s. I mean, they don't really get snow, but Dave had snow once where his kids made a snowman. It was gone the next day, but they did have enough to make a snowman. I came here because you got 3 places to choose from. Rod's will give you the burgers. This place was the one I was thinking of. Just don't know if they take credit cards, so I gotta get cash. Do they look like they take credit card?
I can't see their door.
No, I don't think they have anything. Let me go get some cash. So, Rod's is one thing. There's a Middle Eastern, as I said to you here, that's called halal. Just kind of interesting. There's very eclectic food out here. You're not going to miss the food culture because it's all out here. Difference is you got to look for it. That's primarily the difference. If I didn't think this all out, I would have gotten cash.
So then we can get someplace else. Don't worry, I'm not here for the good lunch.
No, I didn't think you were. I think you really had more questions, you said. You had a list of them.
Yeah.